I want to start, guys, with what I think is the biggest Xbox news of the week.
Yeah, it is. This is huge.
And this is, so we talked last week about the whole hardware thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was big news last week. Is there going to be an iterative Xbox One that just has more, is it going to become more like a PC? So this week we've got ID at Xbox, the indie, scene on Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
New policy, Xbox One games will now optionally support cross-network play, starting with Rocket League,
right.
which you'll be able to play with PC players if you want. Now, developers will have the option, developers have the option to implement it. It's not a mandate, and then users will have the option to only play with Xbox people if they want. So, I figure that's probably a fail-safe put in for a competitive shooter. You don't want to get crushed by guys with super precise mouse and keyboards.
Yeah, it's been done. Shadowrun on 360.
Famously.
That was the example of nope. This is not a competition. Guys with the mouse and keyboards win.
Think about what this means for games like Final Fantasy 14
that we're never getting because Phil Spencer told me how it's weird politics.
For now, yeah, like the next Final Fantasy that's an online MMO, maybe it'll be on everything. So. Then Destiny,
The
Destiny
Division,
2, the Division.
That would be, Well, for now, it's
there's potential.
It's an ID. It's an ID policy.
Yeah,
but
it opens.
It's the first step, right?
Opens
it's
up
the first
potential.
Step. Yeah, but I mean, a future. I would love a future where everybody's in one.
Just play on your
space.
platform of choice.
Yeah, because you can play with all your friends no matter where they are, and it ups the quality of your matchmaking because you've always got more people to pull from, so you're going to be able to get more people close to you so that you don't have like one guy in another country who's like bogging down the server, or maybe that person's lagging out and it's throwing the balance of the play out. So this is nothing but a good thing. Now,
Titanfall, Dark Souls, like looking forward, it's exciting.
Looking forward. For now though, small stuff, indie stuff, ID at Xbox stuff, the door is open. Now, they worded this very interestingly. They said the policy also has, quote, an open invitation for other networks to participate as well. Of course, Microsoft, for whatever reason, terrified of uttering the words Sony or PlayStation Network. Nah, it's just corporate policy. That's how that stuff goes. You gotta talk about your thing and not the other guy's thing. And of course, Nintendo.
Yeah.
I
think we have a network. Sometimes I'm not sure. Not to rail against Nintendo, but Nintendo's like friends list is nowhere near as sophisticated as what like Sony and
I
Microsoft
think it's more
doing.
just a case of there aren't a lot of games that are on Xbox and Wii U.
No, the third-party situation is different. I will say, though,
still,
that
the door's open. Yeah.
The interesting thing that strikes me, though, with this is that, so I think, first of all, Rocket League is the perfect game to kick this off with.
For sure.
It's definitely not a shooter, not something that the mouse and keyboard guys, I feel, would have a huge advantage. But I almost wonder, like, this is great for the idea of what you mentioned, right? That you'll always have a pool of players to play with, and it's not going to be this situation where maybe because of a platform's popularity, there's a bunch of people who have it on a specific one, and then the player base on the other platform is somehow hamstrung by that, because there aren't as much of an install base or how many people are playing it. But in terms of communication, I wonder what happens here. Like, let's say, for example, I have friends, so I have all platforms, but I have some friends on Xbox One who will not buy a PS4, and some friends on PS4 who will not buy an Xbox One. Will I ever be able to talk to those friends in a game like this?
That's a good question.
I'm not 100% confident is the result of this yet. I'll have people to play against is what this sounds like.
I would have to imagine the answer is no to that because the whole voice protocols are different.
Yeah.
On each one. I mean, Xbox, you can't talk to 360 players.
Yeah.
On Xbox One because right? I'm remembering that right, aren't I? God, I hope so. I'm going to look real bad.
Yeah,
wouldn't be the first time.
It's been a while since I tried, but I will say that cross-game chat is something that I feel like started for me on 360 and continued on Xbox One, where the friends I have there constantly want to talk to me or we want to talk to each other when we're playing different games. But I like the idea of us, if we're all playing Rocket League, we would be able to talk to each other, and that would be the one instance where it does happen. But I do wonder if that's even part of the promise, and I don't think it is. But it would be cool if it was.
How does proximity chat work in a game like Destiny? Like you get near people and you can start hearing their voice. I wonder if that sort of feature would work, like in-game chat
or a fire team chat specifically, right? Not to drop names of podcasts on right here, or the same thing with your squad in the Division. As long as you guys are all networked together and playing over the game, you are therefore allowed to speak to each other, and not so much that this would be, I'm on PSN and I can have a direct link to friends cross game, because that's not going to happen.
Oh my God, the ads on this website are the freaking worst. This is unreal. I'm trying to get the answer to my own dumb question, and it does seem that. So I was right. I was half right, and that's how it was in the beginning. You couldn't chat.
That changed.
You now can in party chat.
Okay.
Yeah, you can party chat.
Yep.
Sony responded with maybe, huh?
Yeah, Sony's response, man. Like
maybe.
Sony
They said PlayStation has been supporting cross-platform play between PC on several software titles, starting with Final Fantasy XI on PS2 and PC back in 2002.
And Xbox.
So what do you got to throw the dig in there for to make it look how great?
We've been doing
this forever. Okay, whatever.
Yeah. Anyway, they don't even list that Final Fantasy XI also works Xbox to PS2.
Right.
Which it did, yeah.
It did. That was the one game that did back in the day, 360. Anyway, they say, we would be happy to have the conversation with any publishers or developers who are interested in cross-platform play. So a very non-committal answer, but they don't outright say like, nah.
To me, with the Final Fantasy example, and if we're accurate that 360 users could talk to PS2 users, then it's possible. Yeah. Like the infrastructure's there.
Yeah, no, totally.
If it's built within the game product.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Within the software.
I think this caught them off guard, though, right? Because when you think about it, Microsoft and Xbox Live was the service that built that wall, right? That this is an isolated walled garden where we are talking to each other across our own network. We're not going to talk to PC games. We're not going to talk to other platform games. And now to see Microsoft make the move to remove that wall or sort of, somewhat remove it. It's not completely gone. Is interesting to me, and it's cool. Like I think it shows it's a good show on their part, to be able to support that and to do that.
Definitely. Ryan, what are you looking up right now?
I'm just still checking the same thing because it
is debated.
It looks like it actually hasn't been implemented yet, but it's a thing Phil said that's on their to-do list.
Got it.
Yeah, no, it's not, you can't do it yet, which is so I was correct.
Okay,
I was correct the first time.
There you go. Yeah, but it's good to see Microsoft make this move. I think this is cool. I'm now counting the days until we see a big third-party release that will actually do this. Right? If it's Destiny 2 or if it's something else.
It'll be a small game first.
You think it'll
be
a small game
Rocket
first?
League,
right? Yeah. But think about whatever major publisher takes that step. Think of the goodwill that publisher and developer are going to get. Like, oh, you guys are, just all about players and making it the best environment for players possible.
They would also set the bar.
Yeah.
Like, here's how we did it, and it worked well.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully it works well.
Yeah, but the thing that undermines it all, right, to some degree, is the race for who gets the DLC first. And right now, that's still very much a thing, right? Like,
that's
Call
true.
of Duty, like, eventually
that is a good
moved
point.
over to Sony.
The Division,
interesting.
The Division is happening. That's what Xbox won first.
Correct. Yeah.
That's why I'm playing on that platform.
So yeah, maybe third parties aren't gonna. Maybe it will be a smaller game. In fact, something that isn't quite as big. But
yeah, what does that look like when your infrastructure allows Xbox One exclusive content that PlayStation users can't get into? Will they not be able to join your team? Will it be like Halo days where it's like you don't have this DLC yet? Get it in
Presumably.
30 days.
Yep.
Yeah, how will it work? That's a software side though, not a Xbox hardware side.
Well, and you got to suspect I totally agree with you, Destin, that this is going to be a smaller game that does it first because the other thing, even though there's a lot of goodwill on the table to be had for the first big boy that steps out and does that, it's also a lot of technical headache for a developer to make that happen. If you're the project lead on Destiny 2 at Bungie, and you go to your engineers and go, okay, guys, we want everybody to play together.
Yeah.
PS4, and there's no PC version, of course, of Destiny. PS4 and Xbox One. yet.
There is a PC team working on something. Anyway.
PS4 and Xbox One, we want everybody to play together. Those guys would probably, all you'd hear echoing through the halls would be the sound of the engineers' heads slamming onto their desks. Because that's got to be a lot of difficult work.
Yeah.
But, yeah, somebody's going to do it
Yeah.
at some point. And I hope somebody does. I hope this is not one of those sort of empty promises that are, that's not a promise, but, I hope it's not a hollow gesture.
I'll bet the hardest part will be cutting that red tape between Sony and Microsoft.
Yeah, you're totally right.